Good day, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Akila Bermudez, Youth Political Analyst and Vice Chairman of the Republicans Elected Party, and I would like to welcome you to our virtual political party launch. Today, I will be filling in place of our chairman. What makes a great nation? A great nation is having a group of educated, decent and tolerant citizens. Oftentimes, we focus on infrastructure when asked this question, but we believe that it is in fact the citizens that make the difference in having a great nation. The Republicans Elected Party would like to be heavily invested in our population and our standard of living, not just as a collective, but individually. No doubt, one of REP's #1 agenda is the happiness and well-being of Trinbagonian citizens. Firstly, it is important to note that happiness is not simply having fun, but the happiness mentioned here is sustainable happiness. The benefits of sustainable happiness are broad and cannot be ignored. Happy people do not just feel better, but they function better in achieving the things that we value. And we value life, we value happiness, we value communities and families. Communities give us the opportunity to connect with people and make us feel safe. The REP would like to pave a way to build strong communities. The Republicans Elected Party would be engaging in social connection and engagement programs, neighborhood enhancement projects, community awareness and programs for kids with special needs and senior citizens, headed by our Social Development Director. The REP would be spearheading many environmental cleanup and community projects and activities all out of office via the Republican Foundation. We cannot build strong communities if we don't first put focus on restoring families. The Republicans Elected Party would aim to strengthen the foundation of families by focusing on better social policies and rewards that specifically encourage married parent families to stick together, funding family development programs, and using our platform to educate persons of the benefit of healthy and happy family life. The way a country does politics is vital to its success, progress, and advancement. What we allow can ultimately work for us or against us. This is why racial politics, racial voting, and voting for any other reason other than voting to take part in a democratic process and for a leader to represent you is so dangerous. The Republican Elected Party would like its followers and supporters to be concerned with national pride rather than political party pride. Trinidad and Tobago, let us stand up for what is right and moral. Let us love our neighbors as ourselves, unite amongst ourselves once again, and move forward intellectually, financially, in education, and artificial intelligence. And in order to have a new Trinidad and Tobago, it starts under the leadership of Mr. Anthony Defoe and a new government run and operated by the Republicans Elected Party. Thank you very much for having me.
Good day, Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Chelsea Suku and I'm the head of REP's Youth Council. This is the Republican Elected Party's initiative for our youths of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, youths need real opportunities to participate in political processes and contribute to practical solutions that advance development. When given an opportunity to organize, voice our opinions, and play meaningful roles in decision-making, us young people constantly demonstrate their willingness and ability to foster positive, lasting change. We also become more likely to demand and defend democracy and gain a greater sense of belonging. The REP encourages young people to channel their energy, creativity, and aspirations and become political leaders and activists. The REP will be founding programs built for young people, skills, knowledge, and confidence while they more effectively express their voices, build relationships with political leaders, and break down socio-cultural and institutional barriers to participation. This is why I support the Republican elected party.
Good day, Trinidad and Tobago. I am Antonio Spence, National Security Advisor for the Republicans elected party. My team and I are focused and dedicated to examining and improving our entire national security portfolio. My main focus is to ensure that the people of our beautiful nation feel safe and protected from all threats, both foreign and domestic. Let's steer our country forward into a safe and efficient future. I am honored and feel blessed for the calling to serve my country.
Good day to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I am Anthony Dufour, citizen, businessman, philanthropist, and proud political leader of the Republican elected party. Welcome to our virtual political party launch and national address. I'm honored and humbled to be here as part of this momentous occasion. Today marks a new day for our citizens, our country, and our politics as we witness the launch of a political vehicle hinged on constitutional reform towards a federal Republican model where government's power is decentralized and the citizens are the ultimate authority to government. I am honored to present myself and the executives of the Republican elected party to serve the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and to protect the Constitution in or out of office. I would like to take a moment to let you know a bit on how and why the Republican elected party came into existence. The Republican elected party was established in September of 2020 after a very concerning general election the month before. Officially being approved, registered, and recognized by the Elections and Boundary Commission of Trinidad and Tobago under the abbreviation REP on September 11, 2021. Our logo, the lion and star of creation, represents leadership, strength, and wisdom. Our motto, supreme power held by the people for the people. One of the most frequently asked questions is, why Republican elected party? Well, Trinidad and Tobago became a republic on August 1st, 1976, without having any major changes or reform to the Constitution reflecting our country's newly acquired Republican status. Apart from better leadership, the Republican elected party would like for citizens to identify themselves not by color, race, religion, or political affiliation, but as the Republicans we all are by birthright, along with constitutional reform and a Republican framework fortifying the power of the people. Historically, we've seen in our political environment elections being won with a minority spread across more constituencies versus a majority that's entangled in less constituencies. We believe this system that Trinidad and Tobago as a republic has adopted for itself poorly represents the will of the people and the protection of the individual rights. There are many benefits of a Republican model government, especially if you are concerned with democracy and the freedom of the people. Under a Republican model, it is the people who have power and authority over government, which allows them the right to request for accountability, transparency, and responsibility, as well as being able to decide how to govern themselves. With this fortification, the government now serves the interests of all the people of the country and not just a select few. Change in government laws and practices can come by votes and referendums and not by force, which makes local level government critically important as the guiding hands to bridge and direct central government on its path forward for the citizens and the nation as a whole. Lawmaking is a slightly slower process, allowing it to be properly scrutinized and examined instead of being passed on a whim, regardless of consequences. Divisions of powers is also of utmost importance, instead of all power being centralized in one location. Under this proposed Republican model, there is a greater local participation. When governments are more localized, they affect more people, and as a result, individuals become more involved in the political process, as it is easier for citizens to make important changes and decisions with new operational procedures and guidelines via a reformed local level constitutional document mandating local level government to streamline and solidify increased focus on the Burgess and constituency issues at the local level, leaving central government to focus on things that affect the entire nation, along with the execution of proper and robust foreign policy. This is important that laws are made clear and understood, where there is minimal or no need for interpretation. In a democracy, the main focus is the general will of the people. In a republic, the main focus is on the Constitution, which is what empowers and protects the people. In a democracy, there are no constraints on government. In a republic, there are constraints on government, which is at all times overseen by the people. In a democracy, the will of the majority has the right to override the existing rights of individuals. In a republic, the will of the majority cannot be overridden, since the Constitution will protect every individual citizen. In a democracy, the power is in the hands of the people as a collective, whereas in a republic, the power is in the hands of individual citizens. This is why we identify with the Republican form of governance, and we stand firmly on the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago and its proposed evolution. Now I would like to share a quick insight on some of our national action items. Number 1 on our policy agenda is food security and agricultural redevelopment. Growing our own food is a great economic strategy as it pertains to exporting food in high demand. But what is even more important in our present global environment is food security, being able to feed the nation's annual consumption needs locally. As a key part of any plan, data is important. The plan is that we also conduct a national census of what we consume and start growing, with particular focus on the cannabis and hemp industry to help in diversifying the economy with its medicinal and industrial areas of application. Number 2 of our national importance is energy security. A national conversion to renewable energy, solar energy, wind energy, and hydro energy, shifting away from oil and gas to renewable energy for the country's present and future power consumption needs is of great importance for nation building, growth, stability in this very unstable 21st century. The introduction of an energy buyback system where citizens with commercial, private, or personal renewable energy units with accumulated surplus can redirect it into the public or state energy platforms where the citizens are paid and or credited for the delivered quantity of energy received. Through this program, we expect high citizen benefits and national distribution efficiency. Water security is another top priority item. The REP have proposed plans for development and securing water systems and stockpiles around Trinidad and Tobago for medical, private, commercial, industrial, emergency, farming, and recreation, which may entail possible refurbishment, enhancements, redesign, and/or replacement of existing water collection, distribution, treatment, and processing facilities and infrastructure where it will be applicable nationally. A 24/7, 365 clean, efficient water supply mandate with the creation of a quality control body under local level government in partnership with the EMA and private sector NGOs to provide random water testing for harmful chemical levels, water quality, water quantity, water delivery efficiency, systems repair efficiency, infrastructure repair efficiencies, and so on. With 6 months out of the year providing fresh water in the form of rainfall, along with our streams, rivers, and waterways, the goal of a year-round clean, efficient water supply is easily attainable. Another important action item is the REP's economic policy. The Republican elected party strongly believes that free markets and individual achievement are primary factors behind economic prosperity. Advocating in favor of entrepreneurship, fiscal portfolio development, and eliminating government-run welfare programs in favor of private sector non-profits due to private sector spending being more efficient than government spending. Along with an reduced income tax rates, which in turn increases GDP growth and thereby generates the same or more revenue for government from the smaller tax on extra growth. The REP advocacy of tax cuts, job creation, and localized manufacturing industries, alongside downstream product development, being just a few of the many moving parts which will allow us to acquire the goal of economic security and stability. The Republican elected party consider the income tax system to be inherently inefficient with much needed review. REP has much opposition towards graduated tax rates, which are unfairly targeted at those who create jobs and wealth. The Republican elected party also strongly opposes the recent 2021 property tax at a time of global pandemic, rising unemployment, and a weak economy. We are aware that over the years, Trinidad and Tobago have struggled many ups and downs, politically, economically, and socially. But at this time, we desperately need as a country is to forge an unbreakable form of unity. To find, identify, understand, and accept our national identity. It is also imminent that we identify our problems and develop, present, and execute solutions that work. Contrary to arguments that the concept of national identity and state sovereignty has become outmoded, such an inclusive sense of national identity remains critical to maintaining a successful modern political order that serves the people and the country as a whole. National identity not only enhances physical security, but also inspires good governance, facilitates economic development, fosters trust among citizens, engenders support for strong social safety nets, and ultimately making possible the first world nation we all seek. Our unity is key even in the political world, and without it, we are all sure to fail. When we think of the ideal success and vision of this country, a foundation of good morals and values come to mind. Critical to the success of citizens and the nation as a whole are the morals and values that we adopt and make perfect with practice. It is difficult to maintain a democracy if the underlying values necessary to sustain it are not respected anymore. The Republican elected party is founded upon truth, justice, and integrity, key values needed for a successful and prosperous nation. Governments from the past to present have failed the people and contributed to the failing state that's before us. With the erosion of legitimate authority to make collective decisions, the inability to provide proper public service, and the inability to interact with the people of different political views as a full member of the national community. Corruption, a word we hear too much, too often, especially among the people that deals with our nation's affairs. The impact of corruption goes beyond just corrupt individuals. Corruption erodes trust we have in the public sector and allows for the misuse of our taxes that's earmarked for important community and national projects. Corruption undermines the fairness of government and its processes. We must understand the power we have to make better decisions, decisions being made deliberately and thoughtfully, considering all relevant factors. The decision of what our country will look like in the coming years should not be left within the hands of racially motivated, uninformed, and/or misdirected voters, but placed in the hands of people that understand the importance of voting, that elections have consequences and voting is an opportunity for change and the betterment we all seek. We cannot speak about fairness, dignity, equality, and respect for ourselves and not extend the same values to our citizens, fortifying it via our Constitution. This is why the very first document, most important to myself and our executive team, is a new Republican Constitution. Citizens should not be prosecuted for expressing disapproval in government policies, which in recent times we have witnessed government doing just that, under the guise of COVID-19, making this, in our view, very concerning. The Republican elected party is not bringing the usual mandates of better roads, water, and infrastructure. That's already part of the job description. What the RP wants to give to you, the citizens, is your right to opportunity, hope, prosperity, equality, betterment, protection, and choice. This is our goal. At this time, we would like to take just one moment in remembrance of the countless lives lost due to COVID-19 and/or COVID-19 vaccinations, as well as the families of the 4 divers who lost their lives due to the gross mismanagement and incompetence of the rescue efforts and the handling by the company's management and emergency services. We send heartfelt condolences to the families suffering a loss at this time. I would like to say thank you and extend much respect to the NGOs, groups, religious organizations, political activists, and citizens alike that's been standing up and taking responsibility for country and their fundamental rights as citizens. Understanding that protesting is as important as voting and is what makes a true democracy. The Republican elected party understands the job is not only around election time or on social media, TV, or radio, but on the ground permanently alongside the people in real time, all the time. And REP and the Republican Foundation is here to serve the citizens and to protect the Constitution in or out of office. We have no need for a government if the government does not first lead with integrity, protect their people, put their people first, value morals, and run the country as to improve the lives and standard of living of each individual citizen. It has been too many years of non-unity, broken promises, lies, corruption, and theft. It is now time for a new Trinidad and Tobago, a new way of living, new ideas, policies, and laws. It is now time we fully accept the responsibilities we have for our country and for our future. I say we must stand united. We must stand strong. We must stand on a mission to betterment, a mission to sustainability, a mission to prosperity. At this time, I would like to extend a special thank you to all the members of the executive, which will soon be presented to the public, our foreign advisors, and our support teams, our legislative advisory team, policy makers, friends, and family. A personal thank you to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It is time. Your future is here. This is your Republican elected party. I am Anthony Defoe, and I thank you. May God bless you, Trinidad and Tobago.